Hello and welcome for a new UnityFT Designer video tutorial. My name is Michael and I'm working for Electronic Assembly's development team.
Today's tutorial is designed to give an overview of process macros in the UnityFT series. In some cases, it is necessary to execute several macros in a sequence or a single macro frequently. For such cases, you can use process macros. We classify three different types: a simple, a conditional, and an automatic macro process. I would like to start with a simple macro process and explain it with an example in the UnityFT Designer. I would like to do this using a traffic light. I have already placed three icon buttons and defined them as switches. In the unpressed state, the button is gray, and in the pressed state, red, yellow, or green. I also created three macros and renamed them to Traffic Light 1, Traffic Light 2, and Traffic Light 3. In this case, it is important that all three names end with a consecutive number. We will need this later when defining our macro process. In the Traffic Light 1 macro, the state of the red icon button is set to pressed and the other two to unpressed. This is done with the help of the TCS command. In the other two macros, the state of the yellow or green button is set to pressed. Now let's start with the definition of the macro process. It should start when the Start Process macro button is pressed. The macro Start Process macro is already linked to the press event. For the definition of the process, we use the command mpd, macro process define. A maximum of 10 process macros can be defined. The first parameter specifies the process number. It is followed by the time that elapses between the execution of the macros. We want our traffic lights to change every half second. The time is specified in tenths of a second. Therefore, we have to set 15 as parameter. This is followed by the macro name. In our case, traffic light. Since we have to output several macros, one after the other, we have numbered them. This numbering is omitted in the parameter. Instead, two more parameters follow. The first one specifies the start number of our numbering, in our case 1, and the second one the end number, in our case 3. The last parameter specifies the order in which the macros are called. The following types are defined: cyclic, cyclic reverse, ping-pong, ping-pong reverse, one-time, and one-time reverse. We select the type ping-pong. Let's have a look to the result in the simulator. If I press a button, the traffic light starts to change its state in ping-pong mode. The macro process now runs non-stop. In the next step, we want to stop the process again. For this purpose, we want to use the Stop Process macro button. The press event of the button is connected to the macro Stop Process macro. We use the command mpt, macro process time. The first parameter specifies the process number. The second one specifies the time between the execution of the macros. If you specify 0, the macro process will be stopped. If the value is greater than 0, you change the time, and if it's -1, the process is restarted with the old time. Let's start the simulator again. After starting the macro process, I can stop it with the button Stop Process macro. Finally, I want to show that the same command can also be used to change the time. For this purpose, I use the button Change Time. This is connected to the macro Change Time. We change the time between the macros to 1 second. We also want to have a look to this in the simulator. After starting the macro process, I can now increase the switching time of the traffic light to 1 second. So far, we could only start and stop the macro process. Now we will learn a way to interrupt it. For this purpose, the UnityFT series offers a conditional macro process. For this, we use another example. We want to create a seconds counter, which we can start, pause, and stop. The current value of the counter should be displayed as text. For this purpose, a formatted text was placed. The Start Pause button is used for starting and pausing. This button was defined as a switch and calls the macro Start Pause counter at the press event. We need to start the macro process only when the state of the button is pressed. The command mrc calls the macro Start Process macro only in this case. For more information about if statements, I would like to refer to the related tutorial. To start a macro process conditionally, you have to use the command mpc, macro process conditionally. Analog to the simple macro process, the first parameter specifies the process number, and the second, the time between the macros. We would like to realize a second counter. Therefore, we choose 100 as time. This is followed by the condition. The macros will only be executed if the condition is fulfilled. In our case, we want to start the process only when the Start Pause button is pressed. We can query the state of the button with the calculation BUT_S, button state. If it is 1, it is not pressed. If it is 2, it is pressed. For the realization of a counter, it is sufficient to call one macro cyclically. In our case, the macro counter. This macro is also already created. We change the value of the formatted text. Therefore, we increment the register R1. Each time this macro is called, the register value is increased by 1. If the stop button is pressed, the counter should be resetted and the process macro stopped. For this purpose, the button was linked to the macro Stop Process macro. We first terminate the macro process in the same way as for the simple macro process. We also want to reset the counter at the same time. Therefore, we set the register value R1 with the command VRI to 0. To adjust the text as well, we use the same command as in the counter macro and display the current register value. The last thing we need to do is changing the state of the Start Pause button to unpressed. This is done with the command tcs. Again, let's take a look to the result in the simulator. If I press the Start button, the counter starts to increase. I can stop and continue it at any time. If I press the Stop button, the conditional macro process is terminated and the counter is resetted. Finally, we discuss the automatic macro process. Automatic macro processes are only executed when the value of a calculation changes. For this, our example is based on the traffic lights from the simple macro process. After starting the process with a button, the process should only be executed if the value of the bar graph changes. Now we want to edit the macro Start Process macro, which is linked to the button's Start Process macro. An automatic macro process is started with the command MPA, Macro Process Automatic. The first two parameters are the same as for the two other process macros, number and time. The third parameter is a calculation. Only if the value has changed, the process will be continued. We want that the state of the traffic light changes only if the bar graph has changed its value as well. The calculation function object instrument value returns the current value of the bar graph. We can take the last parameters from the simple macro process. Finally, let's have a look to the result in the simulator. If I press a button, the macro process starts and the traffic light shows red. However, since the bar graph value does not change, the process is not executed anymore. Only when I change the value of the bar graph, the state of the traffic light changes in the present interval. We have learned three different types of macro processes: simple, conditional, and automatic. Whenever macros are called cyclically, or several macros are to be proceeded one after the other, the macro processes are the method of choice.
I hope you enjoyed today's UniTFT video tutorial. maybe you have time and play around a little bit with our sample projects and enjoy our other tutorials.